Hi team, I hope you're able to see the screen, right? Okay, okay. Just give me 1 minute. I need to confirm with other guy. So this is a small practice test. We'll try to answer some couple of questions. Then we will use it. Okay. So you can use the option in the chat window. If your answer is A, you can use A. If your option is B, you can use B. If your option is C or D, you can use it. So there is no harm in choosing the incorrect answer. It's just a practice test. Okay, just more. I want to see how much you have understood in my training. So that's the reason I'm doing this evaluation test. Okay, so I hope you are able to see this correct because this is a Microsoft team. I'm not able to confirm whether the screen is presenting or not presenting. Okay, which of the following will not be identified by business impact analysis? So before answering it, just I will help you out how to evaluate the question and answer. Okay, so you see here the which of the following will not be identified as business impact analysis. We know what is business impact analysis does. It does about prioritization. It does about criticality. It will distinguish between the uncertainty, what type of things. Not means it's an indirect question, right? So when we say indirect question, here 3 answers are correct and 1 answer is incorrect answer. That incorrect answer is a right answer. Okay, question is not visible now. Is it visible? Okay,
Yes.
now I'm going to repeat. I'm going to help you out and understand how the question comes in CSSP exam. In CSSP exam, most of the questions will be in the form of 1-liner, 2-liner, max to max 3-liners. So some of the questions will not be anything relevant to the subject or to the object, or not relevant to the any cyber security part. Okay, so that time you need to just skip and choose any one of the answer and just move on. So you will get some of the questions which are relevant to the subject. So here we are going to talk about business impact analysis. So the question is directly telling that business impact analysis, we have 3 answers correct and 1 answer is not correct. So here we are doing a categorization of the questions. So 3 answers are correct and 1 is not the valid answer. That not valid answer is the right answer. Now you go for the option, choose your option, which is your right answer. Areas that would suffer greater financial operational loss in the event of disasters. Systems critical to survival, the information which we are using it. Individual to contact during the disasters. And the outage limit or the outage time has been tolerated by enterprise as the result of disaster. Okay. Okay,
Chat
fine.
window is not getting active.
Can you be a little bit louder?
Well, chat window is not getting active. I already put the query in the group.
Chat window. Okay, I see that you have choose the option C as the right one. So developing of call trees would take place after the impact of analysis. C is the correct answer. A disaster recovery plan for a company computer system is usually focused on. This is a directed open-ended questions. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Unknown user. So which is the correct answer? A disaster recovery plan for a company computer system is usually focused on alternate procedure to process transaction, a probability that disasters will occur, a strategic of long range plan, availability of compatible equipment at a hot site. So what is a disaster recovery plan? So disaster recovery plan is always focused on IT operational things. So when we say IT operational things, so it is mainly used in terms of process transactions, which is important of alternate that to put in a place with a system which is not available. So A is the correct answer. Which role is accountable for information security? So normally information security, yesterday we discussed about it. Security governance. Under security governance, we have steering committees, then we have senior management, then we have head of the information, CISOs, like that. So senior management is always a role of accountable for information securities. During development, testing, maintenance of disaster recovery, the continuity plan of high degree interactions and communication is a crucial to the process. So the more people we are associated with during development, testing, maintenance, of disaster recovery and continuity plan is a high degree of interactions and the communications is a crucial to process one. So the correct answer is the more people talk about it, get involved with the more awareness will increase. So communication is not only to provide the awareness of this kind of disaster recovery plan. This is also a content allows the people to discuss the possible threats and solutions that original the team may not uncover. So what writing the company's security policies is what type? We discussed the three types of policies: administrative controls, technical controls, physical controls. Absolutely right. Administrative controls are a management driven actions for usually reviewal of themselves in the form of policies. So administrative control is the right answer. Trave determines that the cost of buying anti-spyware for technician laptops exceed the loss of expectancies. If spyware threats were to be happen, Drave should dash the risk. So how do you say it is accepting the risk? Can anyone explain? Okay, the correct answer is, in this case, whenever we are implementing cost, protecting the assets is too much so that it does not make a financial sense. So Dreve should accept this risk because it would cost less if the threat actually happened. Which of the following backup sites is the most effective disaster recovery? A critical site, a server or a data centers or an application server, which is running 24/7, which is essential for the organizations or business practices. So the option B is the right one. Hot site is while the most expensive turnaround and can be nearly complete with the couple of hours of the disasters. So if the different user group with different security access level needs to access the same information, which of the following should the management take? If a data is going to be available to the wide range of people, more security should be implemented to ensure that only necessary people access the data and operation they carry out for a control. So security implementations can be some of the form of authentications, authorizations, technologies, encryptions. So I'm just giving you the clue. So B requires a specific approval. Different user group, security access level needs to access same information. Which of the following actions should the management takes place? So here we are talking about the management. So hierarchy, what is in hierarchy? Require specific approval. This will not be the one. This will not be. Again, you're talking about individual needs. Then it will be a privacy related one. So B is not the option. Any other guess?
C.
Yes, C would be the right one because it is increasing the security control of the informations like confidentiality, integrity, availabilities, technical controls, deterrent controls, so on. So last question, 1 second. Kathy is responsible for an assets valued of $25,000. Asset value is equal to 25,000. It is determined here the asset has an exposure factor of 10%. And what is the single loss of expectancy? So single loss of expectancy is equal to asset value into exposure factor, which is 10% means 10 divided by 100. Absolutely. The correct answer is C, $2,500. So this is the right one. Now we'll move into the next chapter. So this is the asset security. This is very, very small chapter and you can score 10% out of 10%. Okay. In CSSP exam, this chapter is very, very easy. Even though the first chapter is very tough, but the second chapter is too easy. Minimum 5 to 6 questions you get it from asset securities. And basic definitions, it talks about the types of purging data, the type of privacies, the type of usage purpose. Okay. And when you're preparing for your exam, always prepare with asset security chapter 2 plus identity and access management. These are both are interrelated. Here we're going to talk about logical access and physical access and will be associated with identical access. When we say identity, what is identification, what is authorization, what is authentication, what is accounting and auditing process. These are the phases that we will be covering in identity and access management. So the models which we have is how do we classify assets, information of asset handling, provisioning, determine data security controls, managing data lifecycle, ensuring asset retention. These are the five topics that we mainly cover, and it is a very, very small chapter. So when you're preparing for the exam, do not spend too much of time. Just focus on 1 or 2 days for the chapters to cover and practice all the questions which is given in this PowerPoint slide. So this is not important for the exam. This is the practical work which we work in the implementation of an asset. If you're purchasing, if you're trying to implement security operations center, so they need to have technologies, they need to hire a security consultant. Everything will cost a value. So what is an asset-based risk management? An asset-based risk management is focused on identifying and evaluating the asset inventories. So how we are using it, what are the risks and organization of the assets. Then we have identifying and creating an asset inventories. This is used to understand and identify the assets and owners used by the business and inventories of that information. So next one is value of an asset. So when we talk about value of an assets, it is like creating an asset inventories like confidentiality, integrity, availability concept. Then how we are going to classify the assets? Classifying the asset is based on the average of the values. It can be asset values $100, $20, $30, $1,000, $10,000, depending on the informations. So this is like defining each and every asset. This is like a basic fundamentals about asset securities. So if you talk about a cyber security, what are the tools and applications they require? They require Nmap for seeing any open ports. They might require firewall. They might require Splunk. They may require data loss prevention. They may require cloud monitoring like CASB solutions. So here we'll be always focused with the people, process, and technologies. So anything which can be used in the form of tangible assets and intangible assets. So asset security domain contains the concept of structured standard monitoring of securing the asset, protection of assets. It discusses the control of confidentiality, integrity of availabilities, which is the main concept of process and baseline and guidelines. So assets are two types. One is we have anything that has a value, a business that affects the operations. So there are classified into two types. One is tangible assets, other one is intangible assets. So when we talk about the tangible assets, anything whichever you're testing and feeling the appearance is known as the tangible of assets. So next one we have is intangible assets. Intangible assets is a non-physical resources, a rights that have a value of the organization because they provide some kind of an advantages in the marketplace. So example, goodwill, copyrights, trademark, patent, and repudiation. So this is the major difference about the asset. This is the first fundamental of it. So I have also drawn a flow, a mind map, which requires for an asset security, how we are utilizing in the chapter wise. So this is the one. So here we talk about assets. Asset can be anything, bank, retail, or any business for that matter. So inside that we have tangible, intangible assets. We are trying to protect that assets, and these assets we use into two. One is data classifications, and how do we classify the data, and what are the important things that we classify the data. So normally we will segregate with the label of top secret, secret, confidentiality, public trust, and classified data. So again, we're going to make sure that what all confidential data, which are the downloading, transmitting files of integrity, and how the availability is associated. To monitor these pillars, we require data users, we require data custodian, and we require a data owner and criteria. So these are the basic things that we mainly focus on, the classifications in terms of government. In government, we have military sector, so which is Air Force, military, Navy. They use this, the government sectors, top secret, secret, confidential, public trust, and unclassified data. So other one is the commercial one, the corporation one, which we are using in a banking sectors or any physical part of information, how we are protecting it. So we also fall under the data privacies and data retention strategies. So in assets, we have data in motions, data in use, and data in rest. So this is mainly we use in a different types of asset security controls, how data can be protected in different types of motions. So we need to understand how data is created and how data is used and how data is retrieved in any different operations. Okay, so information lifecycle is the same as data lifecycle. Do not get confused in the exam. So if they ask about data lifecycle, it's again they're asking about information. So information is nothing but data. A data that is combined to form a meaning, like in terms of standard operating procedures, or we say a metadata, which can define the process work. Information has a worth of organizations. Information is either created or copied. We have four phases of cycles. One is like acquisitions, use, archival, and disposal. These are the very important aspect of information life cycle. So information life cycle is used of acquisition, use, archivals, and disposal. So acquisition is nothing but a copying and creating a system, a business process and data are being attached. Information is indexed, access data control is used, rollback of capability is being provided. So acquisitions means conquering or accepting the information resourcing, creating applications, making use of the business functionalities. So any person who joins a new company, he needs to know what is this policies, what is that information needs to do, what happens if there is a threat happening at this thing. So normally, if you're using a threat management, they might be using mid-tray attack, right? So they see this loop and how it has been identified based on these categorizations, they will update it. So similarly, we have data use, information use. At present, most of the challenges to protect and control ensure the internal consistency. Then we have archival. It's an important to decide on the needs, backup, and how they are protected needs to decide the retentions. Disposal is a data is indeed to destroy it correctly, how, where it is stored in a critical for destruction process. These are the very important aspect of information lifecycle. So this is all a basic rough data, scrub data, which we use for what is sensitive data, what is how the sensitive data is used, and what are the examples that we use. So in the previous slide, we had one slide called privacy. I told this is the general information not required for the exam point of view. The similarly here, we have collected with the same framework, NIST 800-122. Talks about social security numbers, biometric, individual double social number, financial number, date of birth, credit card information, political informations. So to measure this sensitive information or privately protected health information, we need to have security awareness training. We need to understand the cybersecurity, data encryptions, access controls, FERPA, HIPAA, Graham Bleach Act or Data Protection Act. So this is a sensitive which is used for different availability of concepts. So wherever you use it, you'll be having that information as per the requirement. So have you ever tried of doing the privacy assessment by any chance? So I forgot to share you the document, but tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll definitely share you the document. So next one is data owner. So what is data owner? How we are using this data owner? So data owner plays a very important role in the organizations. So basically he does in terms of uh, the complete classification of data. And he is responsible of quality, protections, data in use, and data within the organizations. Like what are the things he uses? He uses is for intellectual properties. He uses for statutory obligations, data securities, disclosures, releasing the pricing or disseminations, condition of use for agreed users and customers. So next one is chief executive officers. It's mainly used as department head. So they're used for classifying the data, ensuring that security policies, owners are eligible of information that is used to protect the sensitive information. So whenever we talk about data center, data owners, in your organizations, you have this chief executive officer. chief information officer, chief security officer, chief privacy officer, anything which is used as chief XO. Miss X means it can be privacy, it can be information, it can be a risk, it can be financial, anything. So they are the data owners. This data owners also called as information owners. Data owners also ensures that data is accurate and has an integrity. They have the policies to place in a data usage. They have the compliances of internal standards relevant of regulations. This is the main thing they use for data owner and information owner. So in the organizations, they normally represent in different scenarios. This is data owners. So this information's referred senior management or organization owners, which is used as the roles, data establishments, metadatas, or understanding the replacement, determine who needs the information, know the information is accurate, and they have been individual for creating a purchase of informations, how well we are dealing with the applications or classifications or a quality of a data, or how we need to determine who can access this information. This kind of activities are all done by data owners. Normally, in some small organization, they might be having a senior managers, or there might be a vice president of information security managers, and so on. So next one is data custodian. So data custodian are established to ensure the important data sets maintained by accessible and defined specifications. So like taking care of the database administrators. If he's an Oracle database administrators, or if he's a database administrator, every day there will be millions of transactions like duplicate of data, updating data, removing data, truncating the data, store, remove, add. So he takes care of the data. If there is a firmware, if there is a any related information, how it has been associated, based on that, also it will be used for an information. So fundamental of the data sets, data set of documentations, validations of any additional like periodic audits, assuring or ongoing of data integrity. These are the very common things that we use for data custodian and responsibilities. So data custodians are established to make sure maintain access defined specifications. Information of security professionals delegated like security managers, security administrators, analysts, network and database administrators, and application owners. These are the main things they focus on data custodians. So next one is asset owners. So asset owners normally what happens is in the organizations, they don't purchase the hardware things. Okay. So for example, we have this VOP device like voice over internet protocol, Cisco devices, or we have Junipers, or we have anything. This are the device which they cannot buy it because each device itself will be like 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. So they lease that device so that whenever they require, they can use it, or whether if they don't want, they can return and they can return that money. So they're using the hardware as a rental program. So develop the system maintaining the security plans of according to the agreed plan. So instead of leasing that information, they can reduce the business and they can have to reduce the cost effective of the business approach. So business owners, they are nothing but the client, like multiple vendors like Wipro, Infosys, Tata Consultancy Services, or any freelance project. So they what they do is they'll be having a list of job works with them, and they are ready to go on live. And but it would be a very limited amount of time, like 1 year or 2 years, and based on the process. The business owners are responsible to provide a system value of organizations, which is used to have a data breach, or which is having a recommendation of security controls, immediate of value of organization to reduce the overall risk. This business owner is having an evaluation of potential loss and related to the element like how we are using a revenue that will cause it. That's the main thing they focus on asset owners and business owners. So very important for the exam is data custodian and data owners. Okay, team, I'm audible. I think they'll, because I'm not able to see you in this Microsoft team because for me it is looking okay. Fine, fine. And so far, how much you have completed that Boston PowerPoint? Is it completed? Okay. No worries. So try to do it fast, okay, so that we need to discuss on that as well. Good, good, good going. There is another four more slide chapters. We have still in the chapter A. We have chapter B, C, D. Okay. Try to use Google Lens on your mobile. Copy that in the WhatsApp and paste it in the PowerPoint. And the explanation in the next slide. So next one is privacy. So privacy, privacy, privacy. Privacy plays very, very important role in all the organizations. So I used to think privacy is very easy. We need to just focus on the informations, how we are using it, where it is required, and all that thing. I'll tell you the very importance of privacy is that whenever we are dealing with any individual of customers' data, if we are not properly protecting it as per the financial rule or as per the social texting rule or pre-texting rule or any other European controls, if it is not properly implemented, there will be a huge fine associated to it. So let me put you in a very simple format. What is privacy? So a privacy is a kind of right issues to control how your personal information, when this personal information is converted into a government proof identity, like your passport, like your social security numbers. So it is used as view and used as a security protections against any threat or dangers. This is happening. Why privacy is coming is because most of our applications are converting into a digital world. We can say this digital world into digital assets. So normally, whenever we refer any confidential data, which is unauthorized access to the data after involving protections against the hackers or criminal is used. Privacy involves your rights to manage your personal informations, and this is equally important of aspect of safety, which is used to take measures, which is used to take personal information about a digital environment. So privacy is an ability which is used, being watched to refer that how it is being protected, how data is collected, how data is stored in the medium, or how it is used in different types of safeguarding the identity of informations. So why privacy is important? Privacy is important because if data is not properly controlled or mitigated with the necessary controls, it is misused in the number of the ways. Some of the challenges users is like protections of online privacies, tracking, loss of controls, lack of transparency. So privacy combines the data protections in a different ways, like user control over the data, so the rights to opt, forgotten, access to the recertifications, access like viewing and editing. Security is like implementing of technical controls to prevent this cyber attacks. This is normally used to have the social medias, like they can copy your photograph and they can use it in some other masquerade name and try to hack it. So normally this happened because in those days, in 2004 or 2005, we used to use this Orkut. So whenever this people who are in love or this, they would try to hack their boyfriend's informations or girlfriend information, they masquerade that informations. So from that time, this started developing in different ways and different flavors. They started stealing the other informations of stealing their privacies. So some of the tips when we talk is how to protect them. So never ever post about your personal informations in any social media. That's one of the best thing. Even in LinkedIn, whenever you're trying to update anything information, that it has to be a genuine purpose and the genuine one, because you get a lot of phishing attacks through that, the accessibilities. So privacy by design. This is not related to your exam. This is just a reference document. So privacy by design is like a product of a design, rather how we use to end development. Normally, we are used in software development life cycles, how it can be implemented. They should not be using any outsourced source code to implement or manipulate that applications and provide some other information just to make sure that job is done and escalated from the different ways. So that's the main thing. So here we have a three recognized: proactive and preventive. It's like an anticipate what might happen if they're using any third-party source code. That would be a violations. Default settings, embedded built-in privacies, full functionalities like some of the informations, visibility, transparency, and openness. So this is just a kind of information, so you don't get it in the exam. This is for your understanding purpose. So where all this privacy is applicable, so that's the reason I have added this slide. Next one is
For full course video training, visit MildainTrainings.com. Register now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.